Welcome to your Astro Forecast for the week of September 2nd. I'm Sarah Nicole. This is Twisted Goddess Tarot, and my mission is to help you navigate the cosmic energies with greater awareness. If you're watching right now, you're probably watching the replay, and if that's the case, leave a comment so that I can come back and say hi to you. If you're new here, we do this every Monday where I chat about what's happening in the skies to bring light to how the week's astrology may affect you. Of course, this is going to be at a collective level. How these astrological events affect you personally is going to depend on how it's interacting with your personal birth chart. So before we get started into the week's astrology, I do always like to take a note and let you all know that, of course, I am wearing jewelry that I made, Twisted Goddess Crystals, www.twistedgoddesscrystals.com. A little shameless plug there. I've started wearing some jewelry that's available every week to kind of show it off and using it as a way to promote my products, because this is a free offering that I do for you all every week. So I think it's a fair trade, right? Hey, Vanessa. All right, so first let's rewind a little bit and let's talk about some major energy shifts that happened yesterday, because I did not do an Astro Forecast last week. And this first week of September is incredibly packed. More than just the first week, really the entire month of September, because we also have a full moon eclipse happening in September. So September is really a energy-packed month for sure. So let's rewind a little bit and talk about some things that happened yesterday. Sunday, September 1st, we had Pluto retrograde, which Pluto has been retrograde for a while, but yesterday Pluto retrograde re-entered Capricorn for the last time in our lifetimes, right? Unless something crazy happens and somebody lives over 300 years old. For the last time in our lifetimes, Pluto has re-entered Capricorn, okay? So this really signals the last couple of months of cleanup, because Pluto is life, death, rebirth. Pluto is destruction. Pluto is transformation, right? Pluto is trying to get you to see what you're giving your personal power to. And so this is the last couple months of cleanup that we're going to have in this area of our life forever. For us here, not forever for eternity, but forever for us, for those of us who are living right now. We're not going to see Pluto in Capricorn again after this little stint. So if there's anything that you've been avoiding in the Capricorn area of your chart, what does that mean? Even if you don't have a single planet in Capricorn, you have Capricorn somewhere in your birth chart. I promise. Even if you don't have a placement there, a planet there, you definitely have Capricorn there. It is ruling one of the houses, okay? So if you've been avoiding anything in the Capricorn area of your chart, expect it to really be loud and clear from now until Pluto enters Aquarius, to stay for a while on November 19th. So we're really having these last couple months of cleanup in the area of Capricorn. And remember that Capricorn, on a collective level, rules over things like father figure, authority, business, structure, responsibility, achievement, success. So remember that. And on a collective level, on a worldview level, we can definitely see some last minute cleanup or destruction of things within the government and things within business and things like that. We can also see some things come to light, if you will. So now is really a time to address any lingering concerns in that area and really release the work that's been centered there since around 2008, 2009, because that's when Pluto entered into Capricorn, right? Pluto is doing all those things for sure. I feel it. Vanessa said, yeah. And it's gonna be a subtle energy, right? If you're clued in, you'll feel it, but it's gonna be a subtle energy because, again, Pluto is so far away from us and it moves so slowly. Pluto energy is much more subtle for us. It is something that usually it takes a little while to look back on and see, oh yeah, I see how that area of my life transformed with Pluto being there. It usually is something that takes a while, right? because it's so slow moving. But this is a really great time to get acquainted with where Capricorn is for you in your birth chart. What house does it rule, right? And is there any cleaning up that I need to do in that area? Is there anywhere in that area that I've been giving my power away to someone else, that I've been kind of giving that power away and trusting them to take care of it? Because once Pluto moves into Aquarius, it's power to the people, right? And it's kind of, we all have to take our power back, and we have to take accountability for our responsibility to humanity, our responsibility to the collective, right? Whereas Pluto in Capricorn was a lot more, let's give my power to government and big businesses and let them handle it. And now we're kind of seeing that hasn't worked out so great, right? That hasn't worked out so great. So that's a little bit about Pluto retrograde re-entering Capricorn for the very last time in our lifetime, yesterday. Also yesterday, Sunday, September 1st, we had Uranus station retrograde in Taurus. So Uranus is going to stay retrograde until January 30th, 2025. So we're going to have a little bit of time working with this energy. Again, Uranus is a planet that is far away from us. So the Uranus retrograde energy is not felt as strongly as Mercury retrograde. It is more subtle. It is something that lasts longer, but it is more subtle. And Uranus retrograde, remember that Uranus is the planet of freedom and individuality and unexpected change and shakeups and liberation, right? And so this is a really great time, and retrograde is always a time to go back and revisit. So Uranus retrograde is a really great time to reclaim your liberation, reclaim your freedom to be you, to redefine what it means to live authentically at this stage of your life, to reconsider any ways that you're ready to break free, or anywhere in your life that you kind of need to break free or break those chains. It's a good time to kind of revisit ways that you rebel, right? Because Uranus is also the planet of rebellion, ways that you rebel and whether they're truly serving you. We all want, when we watch Star Wars, we all root for the rebellion, right? And so rebellion is a good thing, but then you also have to kind of look back and think, we all want that rebellion. But I also think back to times in my life where I was rebelling, but I was rebelling with harmful ways, right? I was rebelling in ways that were harmful to myself. And so Uranus is a really good time to look at that. Am I rebelling against something that is actually good for me just because I want to be different? Or is this a true rebellion that is going to change something for the better, right? Also, while Uranus is retrograde, you could have heightened intuition during this time. You could be able to really think more creatively during this time. And you could see new paths for accomplishing an old intentions, right? So new pathways could be cleared. So if you've kind of given up on a dream, Uranus retrograde can be a time where you can see a new path open up for an old idea that you wanted to get accomplished. Hey, Pearl. So moving into this week, we have, which is a jam-packed week. Today, Monday, September 2nd, we have Mars at 28 degrees Gemini, creating a square aspect to Neptune at 28 degrees Pisces. So Mars is pure fire energy. It influences our motivation, our actions, and Neptune is water energy. It influences our intentions, our ideals, our spirituality. So what this is today, this Mars square Neptune, it's a clashing of what's real versus what's imagined, right? It is, while this transit could certainly unveil some of those around you who don't have your best intentions in mind. So that's one way this could affect some of you. Some of you could start to kind of see through some people and be like, oh, wow, they actually don't have my best intentions in mind, right? With this Mars square Neptune. It can also be a really great motivation to make a decision and take action on something that you felt uncertain about. So not everybody is going to experience where someone doesn't have their best intentions, but some of you may have that energy of something you've been stalling on, something you haven't been able to take action on and make a decision on, right? Something you felt uncertain about, because Neptune is the smoke screen, right? It is kind of this very watery, rose-colored glasses, can't really see clearly energy, whereas Mars is, for lack of a better spiritual analogy, Mars is kind of shit or get off the pot, right? That is Mars energy. And so this is very much saying, hey, make a decision. Let's do something. If you're uncertain, like, are we going to wait until we're 100% certain to do anything? Then we're never going to do anything in our lives, right? That's kind of what Mars is coming in to say. Also today on Monday, September 2nd, it's really great that we're getting that push to make these decisions, because we do have this new moon today as well. So happy new moon, everyone, at 11 degrees Virgo. And the new moon marks the beginning of the lunar cycle. It occurs when the sun and the moon form a conjunction, meeting at the exact same degree of the zodiac. And its themes are that of new beginnings, openness, hope. It's a really beautiful time to sit quietly and allow an intention to rise up. What manifestations would you like to bring into your life during this lunar cycle? What intentions are you going to set? The reason why I said it's great that we have this energy of Mars saying, make a decision, right? Is because it's a new moon. And it's like, make that decision. What do you want? Right? What do you want? That's kind of what the universe is telling us today with that Mars square Neptune and this new moon in Virgo. What do you want? And while you're free to choose any intention for this new moon, it is a wonderful idea to look at your birth chart and see what house 11 degrees of Virgo is in for you in your personal birth chart, and choose an intention that fits the theme of that house. If you ordered a 2024 New Moon Manifestation Guide from me back in December, be sure to reference that. Also, any crystals, any water, any other spiritual tools that you charge under a new moon are going to hold the energy of cleansing and of fresh starts. Oh, Vanessa, the Libra is in pain with this decision pushing, but yep. Yeah, so you're feeling it for sure. Tomorrow, Tuesday, September 3rd, we have one that I'm really excited about. Venus conjunct the South Node at 6 degrees Libra. So Venus is the planet of love, relationships, beauty, how we attract people, what we're attracted to. It's also the planet of values. It's the planet of money, how we spend money. Any relationship you have, your relationship to people, your relationship to money, your relationship to your values and your priorities. Venus rules those relationships in our life. And so the South Node is something from our past, skills, attributes that we have already learned, that we've already developed, that we don't need to revisit. The South Node represents our comfort zone as well, maybe a place we're sitting in to avoid uncomfortable growth. Okay, so with Venus conjunct the South Node tomorrow on Tuesday, September 3rd, the question that this planetary alignment is asking is what is holding you back? What is keeping you stuck in the past? Is it time to let it go? Okay, this could be a person from your past, right? This could be an actual person, an actual relationship that you have. Maybe they come back around, or maybe they're still in your life, but they need to be in your past, right? This could be a relationship pattern. Maybe it's not a person that comes back, but maybe it's a pattern that you've carried with you in previous relationships that is preventing you from having healthy relationships now, because you're carrying this pattern into them, right? It could be a money mindset or a financial pattern, a way of spending, right? Because Venus is not just love, Venus is love and money. Or it could be an ingrained value that no longer serves you, okay? Because remember, Venus also rules over our values as well, right? Venus rules over Libra, relationships, but Venus also rules over Taurus, which is the financial piece and also our values. And so while if you don't have a person from your past or a money issue, which who of us doesn't have a money issue somewhere, or a relationship pattern to get rid of us. Again, who of us doesn't have a relationship pattern that needs to be released? But if those things aren't feeling aligned for you, just know that it could very well be a value that no longer serves you. What do I mean when I say that? Values are things that we hold, like a code, right? A set of codes that we follow. And sometimes we have values that are ingrained in us from our parents or our grandparents or from school or from a certain church or a certain religion, right? And I'm not saying that any of those are bad things, right? I am grateful for the values that were ingrained in me by my grandmother, right? But there's a couple that I've had to say, oh, that's not mine. That was hers, right? And so this period is really a time to let go of some of those values that have been ingrained in you that aren't actually yours, that you're still holding on to, but they're not yours, right? So for instance, I do value modesty. I dress a little bit more modest. I like to, wear a tankini rather than a bikini. I don't judge anyone who wears a bikini, but just that's me. One of my values is modesty. But some people may have modesty as a value, but it was ingrained in them and it does not serving you. And that would be time to let go of that, right? If it's not serving you. So it's going to be really personal, but just know that Black Moon Lilith, which is all about independence, all about dark feminine energy rising up, she is also active in this conjunction, which is really going to offer you the independence that you need to release what is holding you back. And then on Wednesday, September 4th, we have Mars moving into Cancer, where it will transit through until November 3rd when it moves on into Leo. Mars is the planet of action, motivation, anger, aggression, and Mars is the warrior planet. It's what we fight for. So Cancer is our most private and personal, our comfort zone, our foundations, our family, whether that be birth family or chosen family. Mars in Cancer is not weak, right? A lot of people think that. This Mars in Cancer is not weak. Mars in Cancer is mama bear energy, okay? So this is a really great time to draw firmer boundaries and protect what is important to you while Mars is in Cancer. The work you do right now while Mars is in Cancer from September 4th to November 3rd is really going to prove important later when Mars is retrograding back through Leo and Cancer December through February. So if you do the work now and tighten up those boundaries, Mars retrograde will not be as exhausting for you, I promise. Okay? Mars is the planet that retrogrades least often, about once every 2 years. But it is one of those things that when Mars is retrograde, it's like motivation and energy depleted, okay? So if you tighten up those boundaries, protect what's important to you now, that Mars retrograde will probably impact you less because you'll have already kind of done that work, okay? And then last but not least for this week, we have Sunday, September 8th. Goddess asteroid Pallas is moving into Sagittarius, where she will transit through until November 30th. So Pallas is considered the multifaceted goddess of war. Goddess of war, wisdom, poetry, artisans, craft working, intellect. She is really strong-willed and powerful. She is the goddess of strategy. And so Sagittarius is all about expanded horizons. So this is going to be a really great time to research, to learn, to add new tools to your tool belt during this time. Okay? That is your Astro Forecast for the week. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to let me know, and be sure to drop a comment letting me know you watched so I can come back, say hi to you. This will be available for the replay if you missed the beginning of it, or if you want to come back throughout the week and remind yourself of what is happening in the cosmic dance. Thanks so much.